because we are still human beings here. We still have the old nature. Am I right? But listen, we are now believers of Jesus Christ who have been sanctified by the Holy Spirit. And because of that, we do not mind earthly things anymore. You call it fashion, you call it worldliness. We do not mind those things anymore because we are now people of heaven, not of this world.
Super Pinas TV. Super Pinas TV. May bago na naman tayong ibabahaging mainit na balita para sa inyo mga ka-super. Kamakailan ay tila bumulagta ang lifestyle check ng mga congressman sa social media na tila ba simpleng pamumuhay lamang ang meron sila na may kaunting milyones na pag-aari. Uulitin ko po, kaunting milyones na relo, necklace, customized van, bulletproof car, at mga gintong necklace at earrings. At dito rin natin ngayon malalaman at kayo po ay maliliwanagan kung bakit halos lahat ng nasa Kongreso ay kinakalaban si VP Sara dahil nga 90% ng House of Representatives ay panig kay PBBM at Martin Romualdez. Panoorin po natin ito mga ka-super.
The President does not control Congress. He has no authority to control Congress. You know what I'm saying? But he works with Congress because at this point in time, he has the super majority in Congress. It means this, folks, that 95% of all senators and congressmen support the President. The three branches of government are equal branches. Equal branches yan. They work together. But they do not control each other. Oo. Kahit na ini-impeach ng Kongreso ang justice sa Supreme Court, Congress cannot control the judiciary. They cannot control the Supreme Court. Daw. Oo. Pero syempre, kapag ang isang justice nag-iingat siya para hindi siya ma-impeach ng Kongreso, in a way, Congress controls the Supreme Court. Bakit? Nandun yung buhay nila eh. Alright? Ganon din ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Kinakailangan makontrol ng Presidente ang Kongreso. Bakit? Because if he does not control both houses in Congress, he can be impeached anytime.
Ngayon naman ay babalikan muna natin kung paano nila iniipit ang Vice Presidente at pilit nilang bigyan ng kontrobersiya ang paulit-ulit at nakakaumay na confidential fund ay sobra pala at lala ng kanilang mga baho sa buhay mga ka-super. Itong si Congressman Jinky Luistro ay naging obstruction of justice pala noong una dahil itinago niya pala ang kanyang asawa sa kasong rape dahil pinaghahanap na pala ito ng korte sa halip na humarap.
The court issued a warrant of arrest against my husband para yung bombang sumabog sa akin. Of course, the nature of the case of rape, no bail yan. Diba? Ako pa ang naghanap until we were able to locate kung ano yung kaso. And to our surprise, may kaso nga. May warrant of arrest nga. May picture nga ng asawa ko. What I did, tinago ko po asawa ko. So, wanted siya. Diba? Kasi lawyer ako eh. I cannot bear the fact na natutulungan ko yung ibang akusado tapos makukulong ang asawa ko.
Ngayon naman itong si Zaldi ko na merong patong-patong na kaso ng pharmacy scam noong COVID. Ito ang mga gamot sa COVID-19, DepEd laptop scam at may-ari ng pinakamalaking kontraktor ng Pilipinas na kasalukuyang kontraktor ng gobyerno at nasa pamunuan pa ng Committee on Appropriations at hawak ang kaban ng bayan.
Ang korporasyon po ba niyang SunWest Corporation ay kasama dito sa kontrobersyal na pharmacy case dito na inimbestigahan sa Senado na kasuhan ng Senado? The answer is true. Kasama din po ba ang kumpanya niya dito po sa kontrobersyal na DepEd laptop scam? Ang sagot po, true. Pinakakasuhan din po ng Senado ang kumpanyang ito. Napakadami pong BIR cases Madali po maghanap, Mr. President. Madali po kuhanin ang panig ng mga taga-BIR. Kung ilang kaso meron ang kanyang mga korporasyon. Bukod po dito, yung reklamo po sa ombudsman ng anti-corruption group na ang pangalan Task Force Kasanag International, meron din pong 50 billion na kaso na kinakaharap ang taong ito.
Ito naman si Franz Castro ay convicted din pala noong una ng kidnapping at child abuse.
Hindi ako nakahandang makulong, no, dahil alam ko na nasa tamang nasa tamang direksyon.
Tugon niya ni ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro sa hatol na guilty ng Tagum Regional Trial Court laban sa kanya, kaysa Turocampo at 11 pa. Para yan sa kasong paglabag sa Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation and Discrimination Act. Matapos umanong ilagay sa panganib ang ilang menor de edad sa isang solidarity mission para sa mga lumad sa Davao del Norte noong 2018. Balak nilang iakyat sa Court of Appeals ang desisyon, kabilang ang sentensyang 4 hanggang 6 na taon na kulong at bayad na 10,000 pisong civil indemnity at 10,000 pisong moral damages sa bawat isa sa 14 na minor de edad.
Ang ating panawagan sana sa ating korte, no, na mabaliktad itong sitwasyon na ito.
Nagugat ang kaso sa mga naganap patapos ipasara ang mga eskwelahan ng mga lumad sa Talaingod, Davao del Norte sa paniwalang breeding ground ito ng mga rebelde. Nagkasala naman ng solidarity mission ng grupo ni Castro at Ocampo para umano tulungan ang mga paaralan at guro ng mga lumad. Ayon sa korte, may record na dinala ang mga bata ng kanilang guro sa dilim sa isang diligtas na daan at pinaglakad sila ng 3 oras para sa nasabing misyon. Sabi ng korte, maaaring nabaril sila ng militar o rebelde roon. Maaari rin daw na inatake sila ng mga hayop doon o nahulog sa bangin o nadulas sa madulas na daanan. Maulan din daw noon, kaya basa, giniginaw at gutom na ang mga bata, kaya nalagay sa panganib ang mga minor de edad. Pagkatapos ay sinundo ang mga bata ng grupo ni Ocampo at Castro na sakay ng isang van bilang bahagi ng solidarity mission.
At ang panghuli ay si Benny Abante na isang pastor ng isa sa mga Christian church, at hindi na po natin babanggitin mga kasuper para na rin po sa kapakanan ng mga miyembro na siya pala ay kasama din sa PDAF scam o Priority Development Assistance Fund o ang pork barrel scam.
There should be a law dissolving the office of the Vice President for you to defund and the entirety of the
At
office.
hindi nila ma-dissolve ang Office of the Vice President dahil ang Office of the Vice President ay binuo at nasa gobyerno. May mandato ng mamayang Pilipino. Hindi basta mandato, kundi ito yung pinakamalaking mandato na nakuha ngayon sa kasaysayan ng Marcos administration dahil ang Marcos ay meron lamang 31 million votes, samantalang ang VP Sara ay merong 32 million votes.
Ito, Marlon, nabanggit mo yan. Dahil ang isang representative, Benny Abante, Marlon, ay tinawag na entitled brat ang isang VP Sara.
Bakit kayo? Hindi ba kayo entitled brat?
Hindi, ito matandang ito, kukunin na lang at lalamunin na lang ng lupa. Hindi pa umayos ng kanyang pagdilingkod sa bansa o kung sinong distrito ang sinasakupan ng matandang to. Tinawag niya na entitled brat, Marlon. At lagi nilang kine-question magkano yung million niya na
125.
125.
Yung 2023 pa to
Sa paghahanap ko ng baho dito sa matandang Benny Abante na to, Marlon, nakita natin na ito pala ay nasangkot sa PDAF scam
kaya
na 189 million naman ang kinasasangkot.
Wow, mas malaking di hamak yan sa 125 na hinahanap mo, Manong.
Naginamit niya, tatang. Naginamit niya, Marlon, sa mga pagpa-fund ng mga fake NGOs, foundation na owned by his pastor naman. At alam mo ba, yung mga sa halagang yan, Marlon, di ba may nabibigyan ng mga ayuda, ng mga assistance, yung mga pinamigay niyang yon unknown persons and unlocated. So, saan napunta ang pera? Bakit may ginastos pero walang recipient?
Tama, napaka-ipokrito, no?
189.
Kung magtanong ka, wagas, ikaw naman pala may ganyang issue na hindi maipaliwanag at mas malaki pang hindi yamak. Kung ikukumpara ang 189 million sa 125 million pesos, malayong di hamak. Hindi lang yan Itong mga taong to, itong mga buhayan to, may mga acts to grind to kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dahil karamihan ngayon ng miyembro ng WOD committee ay mga nasampot kung hindi man sila yung mga kamag-anak nila sa narco-list na inilabas ng Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte noong kasagsagan ng gera laban sa droga. So, meron silang panahon ngayon na para gumanti at posible, hindi ko sinasabing totoo agad posible na ang nagdidikta sa kanila maliban yung Panginoon nila sa Kongreso at sa Palasyo ng Malacanang, ang nagdidikta rin sa kanila at nagpopondo ay ang sindikato mismo ng droga. Walang iba kundi ang mafia.
What about in 2023, Madam Chair?
For 2023, Madam Chair, there was no notice of disallowance issued to the OBP.
So why is it, Madam Chair, that most of the questions are being asked as though they do not believe the Vice President than when she said that she is already communicating with the COA?
Madam
I think
Chair.
the Office of the Vice President, Madam Chair, is being audited by the Intelligence and Confidential Fund Audit Unit. Is that correct?
Madam Chair, if I may I clarify, what I have said about the notice of disallowance is pertaining to the transactions of the OBP, not for the confidential fund, because we are the audit team of OBP for the transactions to audit the transaction of the OBP, not the confidential fund. The confidential fund is being audited by the ICFAO, another office from the COA.
Yes, so the question is supposed to be for you.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Subjected ba sa Intelligence and Confidential Fund Audit Unit?
Yes,
Yung
Madam.
confidential fund ng Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair.
So was there a notice of disallowance?
There was a notice of disallowance issued for the fourth quarter of 2022, Madam Chair.
There was.
Yes.
Okay, Madam Chair, may I know the nature of a notice of disallowance? I mean the nature.
A notice is
How do you characterize a notice of disallowance?
a notice is disallowance is given out for expenses, disbursements. It is a notification to the head of agency and or accountant informing and requiring the persons liable to restitute the amount of the disallowance, that is the confidential or intelligence expense, disapproved or disallowed in audit, either in whole or in part, as a result of illegal, irregular, or improper disbursement or expenditure of such fund. Your
You
Honor.
call it IUEEU. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
I,
Madam Chair.
regular. U is
Unnecessary.
unnecessary.
Madam Chair.
E,
Extravagant, Madam Chair.
another E.
Excessive po.
And U.
Unnecessary, Your
Ay,
Madam
ang
Chair.
una yung unnecessary. Unconscionable.
Unconscionable po.
Okay, so you initially determined when you issued a notice of disallowance to the Office of the Vice President that somehow merong lumabas dun sa IUEEU. Is that correct?
Yes po, Madam Chair.
So how do you characterize a notice of disallowance?
May I be clarified po on the question, Madam Chair?
I do not know how to simplify. How do you characterize? What is a notice of disallowance?
It is a notice po to the head of agency.
Okay. Is a notice of disallowance contestable?
Yes, Madam Chair. It is not a final
It is not the final
action
judgment.
of COA. Opo.
It is appealable.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. What is now the status of the notice of disallowance issued to the Office of the Vice President?
Madam Chair, we have issued the notice of disallowance, and it was received by management on August 9, 2024. So they still have 6 months po, or 180 days
Correct.
to appeal for the
And
disallowance.
they are supposed to reply yet.
Yes po.
You will have to give them the opportunity to make a reply.
That is correct
to
po,
explain
Madam Chair. Yes po, Madam
how
Chair.
the budget was utilized.
Opo.
And that is part of due process.
That is correct po.
Meaning to say, there is no guilt yet until and unless you are able to receive the reply, the answer, and the explanation of the Office of the Vice President.
That is correct po. And it
Have
has
you received a copy?
of the reply po.
Yes.
They have not yet replied po
So
to the
yun na
ND.
nga eh. as part of the due process is notice. Then the Vice President will submit to you an answer explaining, detailing how the budget was utilized, and you will receive that
Madam
in due
Chair.
time.
Madam Chair, if it is already a notice of disallowance, their remedy would be to appeal the notice of disallowance po.
Madam, ang sinasabi ko, wala pa nga eh. It is yet to be sent to your office. Is that correct? Wala pa siyang reply.
Yun nga po, hindi po reply ang remedy nila to the notice of disallowance, but
Ano po dapat?
An appeal to the notice of disallowance.
Well, wag mo na nga. It's an appeal.
Yes po.
Sa aming mga hindi masyadong nakakaalam ng terminology, pwede ring reply. Reply is an appeal. Ngayon, ibibigay pa lang sa'yo.
Madam Chair, ang reply po is we presuppose na sa ICFAO po ulit, pero ang appeal po is with the commission proper na po.
Madam Chair, napakasimple po ng sinatanong. Alam po natin yun. A reply is supposed to be submitted to the commission proper.
Yes po.
Pero sa ngayon, hindi siya magre-reply kasi sasagutin niya muna kayo. And until today, hindi pa niya sinasagot because they are still within the reglementary period of 6 months
That is correct po.
to make an
That is
answer
correct.
to you.
That is correct po.
That is the nature of things, Madam Chair.
That is correct.
So wala pa siyang, there is no judgment yet.
That is correct po. And it has been emphasized po in the first hearing that the notice of disallowance
Kaya nga, if
is not yet
questions, for
final.
example, are coming from us, questioning and judging the utilization of the funds of the Vice President, when you yourselves, the rightful office, has yet to receive the explanation, we cannot be more popist than the Pope, Madam Chair. Is it correct?
Madam Chair, as we have said, on our part, the ND is not
No, you are
final.
not answering my question. Kung kayo nga tatanggapin nyo pa lang magsasubmit pa lang if we will be questioning it already from our end, we're like more popist than the Pope, Madam Chair. Am I correct?
I cannot.
Ikaw naman, ba't naman hindi mo masasagot naman yan, napakasimple. Kung ikaw nga, hinihintay mo pa dapat naman nating hintayin, that is the part of due process.
Yes.
Kami naman, naglulundag na kami na nagtatanong. Kaya nga ang sabi ng Vice President, narinig ko, I am already communicating. I am about to communicate with the COA. I think she will do that because that is the process. Hindi naman pwedeng hindi niya sagutin. Kaya nga po ang sinasabi ko, kasi ang dami na pong nagsipagtanong, lalo na po nung unang hearing, naglulundag po lahat So the nature of a notice of disallowance, Madam Chair, it is yet to be explained. Sa ngayon, hindi pa Kung sakaling ma-explain, Madam Chair, at halimbawa, hindi nyo pinakinggan, the Vice President has the option to go to the COA proper for an appeal.
That is correct.
That is correct. And considering the appeal was dismissed, the Vice President can go to the Supreme Court. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So there
po.
is a whole gamut of process.
That is correct.
Will you
po.
confirm that?
That is correct po, Your Honor.
That is why, can you advise us, including me, whether we are supposed to ask questions considering that you have not yet received her explanation to your office?
Madam Chair, I am not.
You cannot advise me?
We are not in a position to know the power or the prerogatives of the
No,
House of
I am
Representatives.
telling you already. I am telling you already because we're supposed to ask questions on the budget of the Vice President. But they started asking questions on the 2023 budget, which was subjected to a notice of disallowance. I'm telling you, Madam Chair, that the Vice President is yet to make an explanation to be submitted to your office, and you are waiting for that.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Correct.
That's why when we were subpoenaed, we explicitly
Oo
mentioned
nga.
that
So,
these are not yet
tama ba kung
final.
magtanong na ng magtanong ngayon habang ikaw ay hindi mo pa nare-receive kung ano yung sagot niya? Do you think I am correct in asking questions habang ikaw ay naghihintay pa lang ng isasagot niya sa iyong opisina? Tama ba ang gagawin ko kung magtatatanong ako ngayon?
Madam Chair, I can only speak po on the point of view of COA now. We have issued these in the end, it's still subject to appeal.
Kindly wrap up.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Okay. Salamat.